Okay, how y'all doing today? My name is Kingman Highborn, and this is my diecast and miniatures channel. And today, I'm going to show some things that I'm working on that I was going to prime today, but it kind of rained and I have to prime outside, so now I gotta wait till it dries out. So I was reminded that I hadn't made a video in a while, so I'm rectifying that. And first thing I wanted to show was these. I made a war rig with a wreck lobber, and I realized I didn't really have any wrecks to put out for when you fire the wreck lobber. And so I took some of these El Cheapos and crushed them up in a vise, and then we took some, I forget what they actually call this tool, but it's basically a heavier, dutier side snips, but it's much better for cutting paper clips and other things. And I just went to town with that, files, picks, all sorts of things, and just banged on these. And then I used this lighter, which, again, if you ever use my tips, and just remember that this is, fire. Please be safe if you do this. But to make the tires look flatter, I just basically melted them and pressed them into the table while the tire was still gooey, and that kind of creates the flat tire effect here. Let's see if I can get one here to show, because you can kind of see this one here. But so yeah, these are basically victim cars to throw at people on the table, not actually at people. Please don't throw these at people. So yeah, well, there's some basic wood flock on them, and that'll be painted up to look like ash waste or mud. But yeah, I think this is good. I've got a whole box of these little cheapos for doing these kind of destructive, fun things, and it's good to get that kind of energy out of your system. But I showed this last time, and as soon as I did, the camera cut off because I had actually ran out of memory. But this is my slime war rig. I didn't really get to talk about it much, so we'll talk about it right now. And it's basically a piece off of a Dollar General armored truck thing. An El Toro Loco or bulldozer monster truck, cow horns, and armor plates and stuff. This is being a slime vehicle. It's not really a gun vehicle. It's just all-in ramming. And whoops. Okay, so I guess I'll have to fix that later. But I did show this a little bit, but yeah, again, this is the wreck lobber itself with the magnet here that scoops up a wreck, and then it would pull this around and then drop it here, and then these motors pull this down, and then it'll fling it. And then to pick up wrecks, we've got another wire thing. So the only bad thing about this is I've already poked my fingers a few times on these nails. These are little wood nails, and they are sharp as you can imagine. So, but I like the way they look, so that's why I've went kind of hog wild on them. I'll have to glue that one back onto the actual truck itself. But that is the last of my slime workings, and so I've actually got this here for the Car of the Month competition, and this is my Idris monster truck. The competition is punk rock, and punk is not really my normal musical taste. There is some punk I like Offsprings, but I'm not big into that scene as much as I am into heavy metal, and so I do get the anti-authoritarian vibe off of it. So that's kind of what I did with this. Was got a monster truck, a police car ram with barbed wire, basically tying it to the monster truck, and that was made with a technique I found off of Daka, where you take floral wire and you use a paper clip and you put it into a drill in a U shape, and then you wrap the floral wire around it and hold the other end with the pliers. And when I get the chance, I'll link that, because I'm doing everything off my phone, so I have to upload the video and then add links later. But I will link to what I used. I did leave the actual barbs off because this thing is already, again, it's got the same nail technique I was using on the War Rig, and it hurts to hold on to, and I don't want to add more sharp, prickly things to this build. But we've got our requisite punk skulls and spiky mohawk, and there's a punk chick with a mohawk and a chainsaw, and she's chained to the back of the monster truck so she doesn't fall off. And we got manhole cover, wheel caps, and some 40K stuff. And I haven't actually glued this on yet. This is just kind of loosely sitting here. But I did use some engine pieces off of a 1/24th scale dragster to kind of fix this up. So you can see there's the driver with the headphones on, so he can be listening to punk rock music while he is, rolling over the wasteland. So, all in all, this is a pretty cool, fun build. I'm actually hoping it looks really good when I get it painted. It's probably going to be a lot of black and pink and what are they called? Anarchist symbols. So that's what that looks like. Also found this little stop sign. I'm gonna glue that on after I finish painting it, and then come back and weather it, because I didn't want to ruin the stop sign part of it. And I did this one. This is actually a I'm kind of challenging myself not to strip the paint to see if I can actually work with what I've got. And I mean, I've done that a few times with the NASCAR stuff, but this is going to be a Beverly ghost vehicle, and it's got a burning skeleton from D&D miniatures stuck on it. So I'm not going to do too much painting on this. I'm going to focus more on weathering and turning it into more of a supernatural support vehicle. And got some jeweler's chains, so you got the spirit kind of stuck in the back there. I'm going to be running this as a napalm dropper with improvised sludge thrower. So that should work out pretty good, I think. I'm going to paint the windows so you can't see in. But other than that, I think it's going to look good. Let's just see how just going all out weathering on this is going to look, and leave this rusty primer gray flame design on there. And, I'm getting a frog stuck in my throat, apparently. Okay. That's what happens when you share the same space as the cat's litter boxes. But this here is its teammate. This is, again, for my Beverly. Now, this is the actual real car. And it's got a turret-mounted flamethrower. If you know 40K, I am leaning towards this being Chaos Sorcerer inspired. Is an Zenichian kind of thing, changer of ways. So it's gonna have. I imagine I'm gonna do a lot of sorcery stuff with it, and ruins and stuff. So that should be pretty cool. I was really glad this thing stripped easy too. Sometimes these cars do not strip very well. And I got another Beverly vehicle. This is actually a Beverly ice cream truck. And again, little mix of 40K. The last bit of green stuff I scrounged up. I'm actually out of green stuff now, so I gotta get some more of that to mess with. But got the guy from the Hellbrute and piece of Gene Stealer, Skaven. So I'm thinking about calling this the Cronenberg Cafe, because of all the body horror that's going on this one. So when we get this painted, this one should be, it'll look a lot worse than it is right now. It's kind of oddly still clean with the white and everything, so when we get this painted up, it's going to be probably a lot more flesh tone and more of an industrial rust and stuff. And this is the last of the Idris vehicles I put together. This is a 72 Ranchero. It's got nitro and rear-mounted mortar, side-mounted mines, and I had a broken missile that I cut the fins off of to just kind of add a little bit of interest on this one, because it's kind of got a lot of flat surfaces to it. But I figured the big thing with this one is it's going to go fast and then start raining down shells on the people behind it. And I'm just breaking pieces off all. Jeez Louise, that is just not my day today. And we got a couple more. These are, again, Beverly cars, because I'm not doing drivers or anything. These ghost buggies with mines, because in the game, I noticed a lot of people actually do complain about Beverly, and they said that they don't know how to play Beverly. It's not that hard. She's actually one of the better factions in the game. Your ghost vehicles pass through other vehicles, and they can't do shooting attacks, but they can't be shot either. So their goal in the game, and this is, if this ruler was, imagine this is one of the Gasland templates, and you got this car here. The ghost vehicles, their job is to pass through these vehicles and pick up tokens, and then they have to get that to the real vehicle, and when they get to touch the real vehicle, that's how you get your audience votes, or you can actually heal your real vehicle with the soul tokens. So they can't shoot, they can't ram, they don't have a lot that they can do offensively themselves, and if they go poof, then your whole team goes poof. So if you've ever played 40k Necrons, like the old 3rd edition phase-out rules, very similar with Beverly. Your real one is a tank, but these guys are important too, and they're just really hard to kill. But the one good thing they can do is, since they can't shoot, they can drop weapons. So caltrop droppers, glue droppers, napalm, and the best thing is they can use the improvised sludge thrower to do a drop weapon too. And they also are good for RC car bombs. So they're really good vehicles, as long as you realize their limitations and realize that that is their goal in life. And speaking of Beverly being kind of a monstrous, these are also ghost cars. I didn't do much with these. Actually, I didn't do hardly anything with them, but we're going to do some really good paint job to make up with it. And this is Drake and Kobold. And he drops napalm, he drops mines, because Kobolds trap people, Drakes light people on fire. So there's obviously the idea of these being more animals merged with machine than driver. So that's what I'm doing with that. And they have another ghost buddy, which will be this gyrocopter. This is going to be my ghost gyrocopter. Because, again, one good thing about the gyrocopters is they can't be involved in collisions either. So you're not losing anything making one of these a ghost vehicle. Actually, you kind of gain, because the only thing that could hurt a gyrocopter is shooting attacks. These guys can't be shot, but just as well as they can drop weapons, they can be affected by drop weapons, and they can be affected by a few other things. But gyrocopters aren't affected by drop weapons, and they can carry all the drop weapons they want. So you also can still get the same soul tokens by passing over vehicles and bringing it to your lead vehicle. So very versatile for Beverly, because also ghost vehicles can't win death races. Gyrocopters can't win death races natively either. So it's a win-win. And the last one we're going to talk about today is my T-Rex. And we have a T-Rex. So I'm actually going to leave that alone, because there's no reason to change the actual dinosaur part of this car. And then we're going to do metal on the teeth. We've got a harpoon. I was originally going to do a flamethrower, but I just kind of like the idea of imagining a crossover between the T-Rex from Jurassic Park and Scorpion from Mortal Kombat. That should be scary enough. And a wrecking ball, which is one part of a Micro Machines crane, a China cast El Cheapo construction vehicle, and a bit of the implements of carnage too. So I took off. There's a third set of wheels here, but they don't actually touch the ground, so I took that off. Put some armor plates on that. She's ready to go. So all that is now ready to be painted, and as soon as the weather is permitting and is not trying to, well, it's not that bad. It's just it keeps raining for like a few minutes here and there, and then when you're going to prime, you got to make sure you got the right humidity. And so hopefully tomorrow will be a nicer day to get these primed up and ready to rock and roll. But anyway, that's what I'm working on. And if you like, as always, you know, like, share, subscribe. Feel free to comment. I try to read every comment. I try to respond to every comment. And I have a store called King of Cats Crafts on Etsy. So, you know, you can get D&D figures and Gaslands vehicles from me there. And I decided to go ahead and put this big monster up. That's because he takes up a lot of my space. So be sure to check him out if you'd like to have Old Smoky. With that, I'll let y'all go. Have a great day. Take care and be safe. Bye-bye.